Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 1% Happier and Healthier podcast, where Anne and I are going to be.
We are going to be recording a 12-week podcast mini series of our we're going to be basically we've got tickets for Hyrox. So it starts here today and we're going to be telling you all about it. So 12 podcasts, 12 weeks, 12 weeks of progress. Over to you, Sal.
Yeah, so it's all a bit of a surprise for us because, of course, we've been training for High Rocks for over a year and we were looking to enter Birmingham. And of course, the tickets came out back in April and I was busy that day, but Anne and Chris were poised on, I think, two different laptops, ready when the tickets got released. And I think you were 9,000th in the queue. Is that right, Anne?
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. So we sat and sat, but it wasn't to be.
It
It
wasn't to
wasn't to
be,
be.
but we signed up to the waiting list. And to be honest, I never thought that we would that the waiting list would really come to
Yeah.
anything. And then, of course, I got an email on Friday which said it didn't say specifically you're on the waiting list. It just said there's going to be an announcement tomorrow. And you and I, in fact, even discussed it, didn't we? And
Yeah.
we didn't really
We
expect
thought,
anything.
what's that all about?
And then, of course, lunchtime on Friday, I get an email saying that Hyrox Birmingham had opened another day, and those on the waiting list could sign up and get tickets. And I got the email, and I was actually in a work meeting, and it was due to finish. And the other two in the meeting were talking, and I was thinking, hurry up, hurry up. I need to get off this call so I can click the link. So anyway, the meeting finished and I clicked the link and I think it said I was 1,500th in the queue.
Yeah,
I thought, oh well, I'm
yeah,
never going to get in. And I thought I haven't even got a chance to speak to Anne. I couldn't even speak to you, could I?
yeah. No,
Because of course you're in France at the moment. And I thought, well, I'm just going to potter about the kitchen and see what happens. And then of course it just kept chunking down and chunking down. And finally, I was able to get through. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm just going to have to decide whether
yeah.
to buy the tickets or not. And you and I haven't even talked about this, have we?
No, we just no, not we talked a lot about it in April, but that had gone past and we thought,
Yes,
well,
exactly. So I
what's
thought I'm
to
just going
be?
to have to make a decision and sign.
Yeah,
So I had to put all my details in, all your details in. I had to
yeah,
decide on the photograph package
yeah.
and free cancellation. And then we went through and paid, and we've got tickets. And
Can't believe it.
I know. So we're both in a bit of shock, really, aren't
Yeah,
we?
we literally are. You sent me a video recording because we couldn't speak to each other, and you just left the message, video recording, and I played it. I was like, oh my God. I was absolutely shocked, excited, scared, and everything else. But we're in.
We're
We're in, and
in.
we're going to be doing High Rocks in October.
But I suppose we're kind of a bit of ahead of ourselves because we've got to really explain to our listeners what High Rocks is. Not
Yeah,
everybody is as familiar as we are.
yeah,
So I did a bit of Googling of this actually. So it was actually invented by two guys in Hamburg
mhm,
in 2017.
yeah,
And I'm just going to have to refer to my notes here. It's a multidisciplinary event, and it's now the largest mass participation event worldwide in terms of
wow,
sport. But what it is, it's 8 events, each with 1 kilometer of running in between.
yeah.
And those 8 events are ski erg. And of course, until we'd started training, we'd never been on a ski erg, had we?
No, not at
In the
all.
gym.
No,
Sled push, sled pull, burpee broad jumps, rowing, a farmer's carry, a sandbag with forward lunges, and of course, the delightful wall balls. So it's a
yeah,
real mix of exercises,
yeah.
isn't it?
And warbles being right at the end when you're absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
Um, but we have been training for them, and in the last year, because it has been a while since we started. Like you say, the ski erg, we had no idea.
Yeah.
I'd used it a few times in the gym, but one, I wasn't using it properly at all. My form was completely shot. But how we've sort of we went to a personal trainer, we got some top tips on that. So we have got our skill set started, like that foundation and that foundation for fitness. But we're in it now, and we're doing the high rocks, and this is a real deal.
I know we're going to have to get serious with our training now, aren't we?
we are going to have to get serious with the training. So you know what, the thing is with the training, and the thing is when we got the, when I got the message from you, and I was like, oh my God, we're doing Hyrox. There was this old self-doubt was coming up as well for me, and I was like, where is that coming from? And it's interesting because of the people who we've had on our podcast, and because we spoke about journaling and all the different things that the top tips that we've got from all our guests. I really sort of lent into that feeling of inadequacy. And it was from way back. And actually, it was really interesting to process it.
Mm.
And so when I got the news, I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was a rubbish runner at school. I can't do it. I can't do it. I slept on it. I journaled it. The next morning I woke up and I thought, I'm a Hyrox athlete. Have some of that. So we're going to do this and we're going to do it well. I'm going to do it hard. And I'm ready for this challenge. So excited.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because of course you've got that voice in your head going, you might be last. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm not worried about that because I think if we're last, I'm still ahead of those people that are still on the couch
Yeah,
watching the telly.
absolutely.
And then of course I'm kind of thinking, I'm just going to get round and to see how we get on. And of course, when I mentioned that to you, you just said, no, we're not, we're going for a podium
Oh, well,
place.
I was all about just getting round, but I'm like, no, we've been training for a year. We can do this. We are strong. We've got the mental ability and we've got the agility. And why not go for what you can do?
Well,
Achieve what you can.
I agree. I think we're just going to have to get a training plan set up for the next 12 weeks
Yeah,
and do as much as we can do. So, in terms of the exercises, what would you say your favorite one is, and what would you say your least favorite is?
I love burpees. I've so come to love burpees because in France, when I'm training in France at the local gym, the guy has us doing them every day of the week, Monday to Friday.
Mm,
So I don't even think about it now. If he says 30 burpees, I'm like, okay, let's just do it.
mm,
So it's quite good for me because I'm here for a while. I'm in like a sort of French boot camp for burpees. So
yeah,
the burpees, I'm like, tick, and we do them properly. Whereas we do
chest
we
to floor.
press the floor, legs out. Whereas the burpee broad jumps on Hyrox, you can pull one leg in and then the other, which
Yes,
I think is the best way forward for form and not getting injuries in that particular competition.
yeah.
So that's my favourite. What about you?
I think my favorite is probably the farmer's carry. I think
Mm,
one because I've always associated it with World's Strongest Man. And of
yeah,
course, I'm a big fan of the Stoltman brothers, who are
yeah,
the world's strongest brothers. And I'm a big fan of theirs. And I suppose farmer's carry, I've always seen it on World's Strongest Man. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to try that. And actually, it's one of the easiest things, isn't it?
yeah.
I
You
think
could
you and
go
I
all day
could,
long. You
yeah, we
could
could
go all
do the
day long with
farmer's carry.
24K style, couldn't you? In
The
each
farmer's
hand.
carry we could do all day long.
Yeah.
And what about your least favorite?
Um, hmm. Well, the running. The running is a bit of a thing for me. I think good, but it's a bit of a thing for me. But because it is more of a running race than anything else, 8K's got to be done. I'm like, well, okay, Anne, this is how I'm dealing with it now. I'm like, right, you can run that distance slowly in one go on its own. Now,
Yeah,
what you've got to break down is to 1K, lots of exercise shared with your mate in doubles. 1K, so it's
yeah,
now working that frame of mind, and we've got 10 weeks up until the
yeah,
10 weeks, 11 weeks up until the actual competition. So it's now looking at the training plan. So what is that detail that we need to do to our body to get it to so it's comfortable doing that exercise? Because I don't want to go and I'm like on my knees. I want to be going in there in the best possible shape I can be in preparation for it.
yeah, yeah. But
It's like
apparently
small steps.
they call it compromised running.
Okay,
So being able to run when your legs are already dead from your previous exercise.
right,
So I
okay,
think probably a challenge is going to be doing those kind of forward lunges with the sandbag and then getting straight into the running.
right, okay, yeah, because that's your leg muscles,
Yeah,
everything else, and obviously it's about your core and it's about everything about you really, but most of all, it's about your mind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What am I least? I think I'm probably least looking forward to the burpees and the wall balls. But I
Mm,
think if I focus over on those over the next 12 weeks, I think they
yeah,
should be fine.
yeah. Well, remember Mason, who we did the PT with, he said to Eve specifically, we've been doing goblet squats for that
Yes.
because we need to strengthen up our legs, our knees, and get in the right depth to it. And obviously, we can swap in the
Yes.
exercises as well. And we have got a strategy going on, haven't we, Sal?
Yeah, we have with the burpees.
Yeah, tell you about that later, everybody. Maybe after the competition. So we're thinking about a strategy and be most effective and using our energy in the right places. And we're massive cheerleaders of each other. So yeah, that motivational side of it is there 1000% already for each other.
Yeah. So really, the purpose of this little podcast mini series is to try and inspire other people just to set a goal and start working towards it. And you never know, one day you might actually get there
Exactly.
because it's feeling a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Because I suppose over the last year we have been taking those small steps, those
Yeah.
small achievable steps towards it. And I suppose booking the tickets just felt like the next step. But having booked them, it feels like quite a big step, doesn't it?
Well, if you think right back to when we were in the gym and I just went with my son and he said, "Oh, Mum, come and do a bit of Hyrox with me." And I was like, "What the heck's that all about?" And I was, I did a bit with him thinking this is really hard. And then you were there and then we started chatting. And then
Mm.
that little small spark, that little small idea, which was just an idea, was just something right back then. It's like a little snowball that's got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's been a great journey really in terms of enjoyment as well and personal achievement.
And so, what does James think about us getting tickets?
Oh God, they're like, well done, Mum. I got masks as a message to them. They're like, Mum, well done to you and Sal. Awesome, even old people can do it.
Well, I think that's what we're here to show, isn't it? That, we're just two middle-aged women, two neighbours who
Yeah,
got together in the gym and we've just set ourselves a goal.
yeah,
So
exactly.
please like and follow this episode and share it with a friend because we'd love to get a few more followers. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week for more updates.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for listening. See you next week.